that.
Mm-hmm.
I want, I'm too flustered.
It's okay. It's okay. This, I think, shows you just like, like you just said, there's nothing special about us. We're just two women who I think have reached that point where we're like, okay, we need to put some skin in the game, right? Put some skin in the game and try to create awareness around this.
Well, and I also think one of the things that happens that I see happen then a lot is like then white people get really, really angry and then they add more rage. And for me, I don't feel like it's my responsibility to go at this. And you know what? I really did. I feel like we're getting too. Should we remake it? Or are we good?
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
I feel like we should. I don't feel like it's my responsibility to add more shame to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to encounter something, and my goal is not to shame the person who's being racially biased. My goal is to make a connection with everyone and say like, whoa, let's I'm always looking like, how can I add a little more information? How can I add a little bit of perspective? But I'm like the person who's sitting on my porch who makes that comment. I don't want to say to him, you're disgusting. That's horrendous. How dare you say that? I don't think that it's my place as a white person. I don't think it's a good use of my privilege to shame another white person in their, like, I want to put a pebble in a shoe. I want to say, hey, have you ever thought about this? Have you ever tried that? I want to continue to build connections. Now, there are times for just a straight up like, that's not okay. But I do think if white people are going to be productive in this job, we're not. I always like when I'm mad, right? So like that instance that just happened in the grocery store last week. Like I was instantly like, I can feel the anger and part of it's adrenaline and part of it's fear and part of it's the deciding, who am I talking to? What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm assessing. I always try to take an exhale and let that anger go out of my system and speak from a place of like, okay, that's not okay. You're not going to say that. And then to the young Somali cashier, like, you're good. So I'm trying not to just add my anger and ignite more things.
It's like it's like when you told me the story about the person on your porch that's helping you fix it and all of that. Had you approached that a different way, you might have got defensiveness and all of that. But because you approached it the way that you did, right? Well, let's talk about, wait a second. Let's go back and talk about that comment you just made. Like, the way you handled it allowed for productive conversation. And so because that happened, it was a teachable moment instead of anger versus anger. You know, we are both mothers. We couldn't be more different personality-wise, right? For whatever reason, this works. It does.
I think we're both brave as hell.
That's probably what it is. You think? Is that what it is?
I just don't. I'm not afraid to lose something. Are you afraid to lose something?
Not anymore. Not anymore. And there's something about being 36 that just makes me feel like I just don't like give a shit. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and you just have to deal with it, I guess. You know. But there's no more. I'm gonna stand up for what's right. Just simply being a decent human being, because I'm a decent human being, and. You know, like our good friend Etienne says, like, people deserve to live in peace, you know? You shouldn't have to fear riding the subway because you might get, you know, harassed because you're wearing a hijab. You shouldn't have to fear driving a car in a certain neighborhood because of this color of your skin. You shouldn't have to fear. I mean, the list could go on and on. I could sit here and fill out the rest of the video with you shouldn't have to fear. But the point of the matter is that there are plenty of people walking around right now who have genuine fears. And let me just chime in on this really quick too. Although Officer Yanez is not white, in this situation, it's not about white versus black. This situation, it's the police versus the black community. I just want to be clear with that because I know that that's come up before.
And it's about a bias influencing a decision that affects a life. I mean, it's not about the color of the officer's skin. It's about a system and a country that has created a way that we view and see and understand Black men. And
Because
then,
to be truthful, like even if an officer is Black, that I don't feel like that saves me.
no.
In fact, I might even be more worried because they feel like they have something to prove, and that may be controversial. But I feel that way. I feel that way, and I don't
I think we look. Here's what I really believe. So people who are in a place of authority, who need to be held to a higher standard, and if we are seeing the results of somebody make a poor decision because they are fearful and more heightened than they should be because of someone's skin, let's educate that system. Like, let's do training and have people look honestly at their bias. In my head, maybe I oversimplify this, it's such an easy fix.
I think so.
Education.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the school district that my children were in, the teachers and the staff of the school that my kids were in had not had implicit bias training. Let's have implicit bias training. If you're in leadership, why wouldn't you want to know that you're doing your best? Why wouldn't you want to look at the ugly parts of yourself and say, I want to make sure that I've worked through this so I don't perpetuate anything?
Right.
Like, that to me, it's like, let's just educate. Let's all just make ourselves accountable and make sure that when we are moving through the world, that we're doing this with kindness, and let's own our biases. Like, let's just own that. Why don't we just own that? Like, I used to have a lot of biases. There it is. I was raised in it. What do I think is going to happen? But I'm not going to just, like, get over it by pretending I never thought those things.
Right. It's a matter of being vulnerable. It's a matter of being honest with yourself. It's it's not going to go away. We will continue to have these situations happen and have our leaders say, well, our thoughts and prayers are with that family.
Well, forget the thoughts and prayers. They want their kid. Right? I mean,
I don't know, folks. Hopefully we're making, I don't know. It's very easy to feel like we're not making any sort of difference, and then you'll get that one message or one person.
Happened to me last night at 10 o'clock.
Did it? What? Do you want to share that?
Well, it was just a person who said, like, I'm listening.
Yeah.
And it's a person who's never commented, who's never liked it, who's never done anything. Silent watchers. And I think, okay. And I also feel like it's important to remember how long it took me. This wasn't, like, learning and understanding all of this was not comfortable. And it wasn't fast.
Yeah. And you know what, though? If it's not fast, I'm okay with that. But there's something to be said for at least attempting and trying and showing up.
Well,
you know?
Let's not excuse inaction by asking for patience.
Well, so I'm a very patient person, but there are folks who are no longer patient, right?
Well, and I mean, like, I just mean, like when people say, oh, it's getting better, or be patient with us, we're trying to learn. To me, sometimes it's just an excuse for a lack of movement.
Oh, like buying time almost?
Yeah, like, oh, be patient, and it's like, well, okay. I mean, you know, whatever. We have cameras now in police cars, right? But before we had this list that we just did in the last video, how many people how many times did this happen? And it just got all buried and black people just grieved in silence. Do we even want to get, I don't even know if you want to try to estimate as to what that number would be. You know, excuse me. Here we are again. Like, another sad, solemn day. We'd love to make happy videos. But this is necessary and imperative for us to use this platform. You know, we have an audience that's watching us, so somebody said to me yesterday, when are you going to be on Ellen? I was like,
whenever they call us.
Tomorrow.
Whenever they call us. But that's not why we're doing this. We just, again, two moms who bonded over this tragedy in the first place. If
1
you
year
watched
ago.
It, yeah, 1 year ago in July.
July 6th.
Yeah, July 6th. So, I don't know. I oftentimes feel like there's, out of tragedy, there is triumph. It's just hard to see what the triumph is right now. I'm happy to have met you and connected with you. I just wish it wasn't under those circumstances. Had you not pulled over the side of the road and took a risk and made a video, I wouldn't have watched that video and cried 3 times and messaged you, a stranger.
Yeah.
Be my friend.
Well, and I feel like even through this weekend, this lack of conviction, like we're kind of in the middle of the murk today.
Yeah.
This weekend, this couple days, we haven't been able to be together. My kids were gone, and it was hard because you were like, I just want you to come over and just want you to like process. And I was like,
Yeah.
I like physically can't
And I know,
be there.
Yeah,
but,
I knew you would have come if you
but
could have.
there's murkiness in the discomfort in this place, and yes, we'll find a lesson. Yes, we'll find a way to move forward. Yes, we'll come back happy and cheerful, of course. But this is also part of the conversation, part of the processing, part of talking about race is there's just a lot of brick walls that you come up against, and a lot of grieving. There's a lot of grieving in this conversation.
Yeah, that's the perfect word, grieving.
It's why it's more comfortable to leave it and pretend it doesn't happen.
But where does that get us? Because the next thing will happen, and then we will say, like I said, then the leaders are saying, our thoughts and prayers are with that family. Okay. And then we talk about it, and then what? There need to be steps. So again, I challenge you today, June 19th, 2017. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna let slide? How are you gonna make a decision? So that's the thing. The decisions happen in the quiet moments, so that in the store, in the line, in the grocery store, at the table, at the 4th of July celebration, that's when the grittiness comes in. So you gotta make the resolve.
Yep.
No more. Let nothing slide. Bias is bias, whether it's coded or not.
Right.
White people are really good at coding it. Coding it.
Whichever one.
I know when I can feel it in my body. It's like a radar.
When you witness it or when you see it or hear it. Oh yeah.
I just don't think I have to confront or say something, or I start a conversation at least 2 to 3 times a week. I don't think I'm an anomaly. I just don't think I let it slide.
But that's why I think you're such a terrific ally, because once you see it, once you actually see it, you can't unsee it. It's everywhere. And
I don't know I'm so uncomfortable with saying terrific. I just feel like that's humanity. Like, I don't know. That's hard for me.
I'm gonna call you terrific because you're my friend. So
okay, I'll be your terrific friend. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that, but you know what I mean.
That's what makes you an ally. Then should I say that?
Sure.
Okay, and a terrific friend.
I don't bring up what I'm doing to make it about me. I bring it up to say this is the norm. This is what we're capable of.
Right.
This is how often you could be speaking out. I think that's what I mean.
Absolutely.
And same for you, right? Like we make connections. We try our best to connect with someone in every interaction. Except our kids who are outside playing right now.
Yes. Well, they're making a connection with each other, so and they're being very good. If you could see some of the outtake videos we had, because there are 4 children who need mom. It was pretty funny. We won't post that though. This video is long enough. We've been talking for 30 minutes and 16 seconds. So,
all right.
This was a longer one. Really quick though, we have to say this. All of the videos that we've done, our name, the two of us, I'm Naya, she's Heather, but our name together and what we're doing is called Grace Chats, and we are talking about race with Grace. And we have created a YouTube channel to put all of our videos on. So shout out to Rashim Harris, my husband, who helped me load all of those videos onto that new webpage, and we will make sure that you have the link for that as well. So if you want to see our other videos. But I guess that's it for now, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Signing off.